Dutch ovens hold a large amount of heat extremely well, making them ideal for the low, slow cooking necessary to tenderize meat and vegetables. They also create the perfect internal environment for baking some of the best artisan-style bread. If these aren't reasons enough to buy one, a good Dutch oven can also last several years. But with all the models available on the market, how's one to choose? And does it have to break the bank? We researched and tested Dutch ovens, rating each one on heat distribution and retention, durability, and usability, among other attributes. From high-end to budget, and shallow to square, here's our tested and approved list of the best Dutch ovens to help you make your pick.
Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range.
Starting at number 1, Lodge 6-quart Enameled Cast Iron Dutch Oven. This porcelain enameled cast iron Dutch oven from Lodge comes in a variety of exterior colors, with a cream-colored interior for excellent visibility, similar to many higher-end versions. Due to the double layer of enamel coating inside and out, this can be used for marinating, cooking, storing, and serving. In addition to the colorful enamel, the modern design gives you wider handles, which make it easier to grip when you have oven mitts on. The pot is oven safe to 500 degrees for baking or broiling and holds 6 quarts, making it one of the larger capacity Dutch ovens. Our tester found the tight-fitting lid helped retain moisture during cooking. They also gave the Lodge high marks for how well it distributed and retained heat. After cooking a pot full of chicken tagine, the Lodge pot stayed hot for hours. Our tester also noted that whether you're browning chicken thighs or cooking onions with spices, any stuck-on bits loosen easily with a little bit of liquid. Number 2. Le Creuset Enameled Cast Iron Signature Round Dutch Oven. This Le Creuset pot is an all-time favorite but, like all of its cookware, comes with a steep price point. At 5.5 quarts, it's big enough to prepare most dishes, but not so large that it is too difficult to move. The interior has a light-colored enamel coating so you can cook anything in it, and it can be used on the stovetop or in the oven. The knob is either metal or a composite material that's safe to 500 degrees. For more versatility, the knob is removable, so if you need to cook at an even higher temperature, you can buy a replacement metal knob. The Le Creuset Dutch oven exceeded our home tester's expectations in terms of heat distribution and retention. The pot's high sides and heat-conducting properties made evenly browning a whole chicken a cinch, she says. Our lab tested the 7.5-quart model, which, aside from its larger size, shares all the same attributes as this 5.5-quart version. In the lab, our testers found that the thick cast iron base took a few minutes to heat up, but once it did, it stayed hot. Plus, lab tests further confirmed its excellent performance. On the stove, chicken thighs browned evenly and released easily, and food that spent a bit of time in the oven didn't stick either. Number 3. Lodge L8DD3 Cast Iron Double Dutch Oven. This raw cast iron Dutch oven comes pre-seasoned to give you a head start on getting a perfectly non-stick pot. But that's not the best part. The lid of this Dutch oven doubles as a skillet with 2 side handles, so you get 2 pots in one for an incredibly low price. You'll be able to simmer your soup in the pot and make cornbread in the skillet at the same time. Our home tester found the skillet also worked wonderfully to do double batches at once, like when browning meat. Once they did an extra round of seasoning, even cinnamon rolls came right out without leaving a crumb behind. Our lab tested the 7-quart model of this pan and found that it worked beautifully to brown chicken, with crisp edges and very minimal sticking. Cooking rice also turned out great, with no sticking or hot spots detected. We also tested the durability of this model and noted that it can be used with metal utensils and stand up to fairly rough handling without any sign of damage. It's a piece that can certainly be handed down well into the future. Number 4. Crock-Pot Artisan Round Enameled Cast Iron Dutch Oven. For a budget pick, this 5-quart model by Crock-Pot performs well above its modest price point. The cast iron build gives the oven heft so it doesn't move on the stovetop and also offers even heat distribution and retention. The lid's texture gives it a self-basting feature, allowing condensation to collect and redistribute itself over whatever is cooking so it doesn't dry out. Oversized handles make it easy to grab with pot holders on, and the metal knob and Dutch oven are oven safe to 500 degrees. In our lab tests, we were able to achieve consistent and even browning with a nice crust on chicken thighs, though we did find the cooking surface to be on the small side. Not a deal breaker if you're okay with browning in batches. When it came to cooking rice, it didn't stick or burn when left to simmer and steam, and all liquid was completely absorbed. Number 5. Camp Chef Classic Dutch Oven. Heading for the great outdoors. This camp-style uncoated cast-iron Dutch oven will help you cook up anything your nature-loving heart desires. It's designed with feet to raise it over hot coals, plus you can place coals atop the flat, tight-fitting lid for even heating inside. Best of all, this arrives pre-seasoned, so you can pack it for your trip as soon as it arrives, but the coating will improve with additional seasoning and use. This holds 6 quarts, which is perfect for solo camping trips or cooking for small groups. It's a truly versatile piece of cookware. You can also flip the lid over to use it as a skillet or griddle. In fact, our tester did just that, warming up tortillas and frying eggs directly on the lid for a perfect outdoor breakfast. Don't be nervous if you're not well versed in using coals to set the temperature. Neither was our tester, as this comes with a guide with charcoal distribution guidelines. Once our tester got the hang of where to place coals, she was able to whip up shakshuka and cheesy enchiladas with ease. Number 6. Marquette Castings 6 quarts. Enameled cast iron Dutch oven. This enameled cast iron Dutch oven has features we like for baking bread: a metal knob that won't be bothered by oven heat, a wide flat bottom for a good crust, and the ability to withstand heat over 500 degrees. With all that, it still has an affordable price tag that leaves some money to pay for fancy flowers, add-ins, and tasty toppings. But of course, a good Dutch oven can be used in a multitude of ways, so we tested this model in our lab with non-bread tasks. It is a generously sized cooking surface where we were able to sear chicken without sticking. We did find that browning results weren't as even as with other models we tested, but it did cook rice perfectly with no sticking or scorching. The white interior makes it easy to monitor the browning process and see the fond, aka the caramelized brown bits, develop in the bottom of the pot. During our durability tests, we noticed a little bit of chipping of the external paint after impact, but that won't affect its usability.